The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on and they get
He missed the complete that. He's crazy stuff.
Side Freitas is on the grass on the infield for 4. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
Looking down from inside the womb-like security of the blimp gondola, high above the excitement of Sin City, it's another Sunday night, and once again it's time for the Global Sim Racing's channel's Live As It Happens coverage of the We Stand United Cup Series for the Gen 6 stock cars. In an hour, the green flag will wave here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, giving this rolling field the go-ahead to dive into the first corner for the Cobalt Tools 150, round 3 of this 39 race season. Just get this internet feed showing on your big screen, pour a beverage of your choice, and make yourself a snack because 100 laps of simulated NASCAR excitement will be coming gently down the stream. Hello everyone and welcome to another GSRC broadcast. I'm your host, Bill Soup Zahn. Helping me call the action is our oval aficionado, Sean Ambrose. Turning the knobs and pushing the sliders is the hardest working man in sim racing broadcasting, Joe Peak, and at his camera locations provided by the Ansel Adams of iRacing, Dougie Beard. With the Global Sim Racing channel now having one We Stand United broadcast under its belt, the announcers in the booth, along with all of you watching, are becoming more familiar with the series and its drivers. Last week at Atlanta, Sean and I and the viewers saw Brandon Cretion dominate the race and take the checkered flag, or so we thought. But as touched upon in the post-race show, there was a question as to if the victory would stand, and sure enough, series officials penalized Cretion for on-track infractions, which relegated him down to 16th, with the runner-up Blake Heather slotting into first place. Now, Tad Granger, Finian DeCuna, and Kenneth Reeder could not duplicate the success they enjoyed at the Daytona season opener and were replaced on the podium this time by Jimmy Mullis and Derek Prater. We'll talk more about the Cretion penalty a bit later, but right now let's turn the mic over to my partner Sean Ambrose, who can certainly talk more intelligently than I can about the venue on tap, that is Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Sean?
Sin City, baby, Las Vegas, Nevada. We are here just about 15 miles northeast of the Strip. This is the 20th anniversary of Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Opened in 96, 1.5 miles, 20-degree banking, progressive banking there. Banking is anywhere from about 12 to 20 degrees. And, yeah, we're going to do 100 laps here tonight. And they're going to be really fast laps, Bill, because what I'm hearing from the men on the track is lots of grip, lots of horsepower. So going to be a quick one tonight. A lot of fast laps going down already in practice. And let's take a look at the championship and see where we're at right now.
Yeah, if we're going to bring up the championship right now, and with two races past us here, there's a pair of race winners at the top of the charts. That's Tad Granger, sits a scant 5 points ahead of Blake Heather. Now, Thaddeus being the only driver, this is interesting, in the entire series who can claim 2 top 10 finishes. Now, Finian Big DeCuna is what I'm calling him because I can't remember Big Kahuna. It's Big DeCuna. Sits just 6 points back of the lead. He's a point out of second place there. Now, Derek Prater and Jimmy Mullis up 12 and 14 points respectively. Those are your biggest climbers from last week, and they've moved themselves into 4th and 5th place respectively. Prater Mullis being only 15 points out. Still very early here. And remember, what is interesting, Sean, in this series is they're going to use the chase format. So after we go, I think, what are we doing, 26 races? The final 10 will be, I guess it's going to be, actually there's 39 races, so it's going to be, what's that, 29 races. The final 10 will be in the chase format. Now, Sean, we talked a little bit about the venue. We've talked a little bit about the standings. Let's take a second to talk about the league rules.
Let's do it. Yeah, so here we go. We Stand United. they run the Sprint Cup car. That'd be the Toyota, the Ford, and the Chevrolet. Again, we talked about the race length tonight. It's going to be 100 laps, 150 miles, 50% of fuel. So we are going to be talking about those green flag pit stop opportunities. No fast repair, Bill. I know that's a big one for you, and it's a big one for me. You got to run what you brung, and you crack it up on this awful fast track. You're going to have to go in and get it repaired, and that could cost you a lot of time, and it probably will cost you the race. Unlimited incidents, they'll take care of the penalties afterwards, and we'll be dealing with a few of those here in just a moment. But right now, big breaking news, because it did rain at Las Vegas before the NASCAR race this afternoon. The server for the race tonight is starting with 0 rubber on the track. And it's about 62 degrees outside, a little cloudy, but it's only about 76 degrees on the track. Like I said, they were talking about lots of grip and lots of horsepower. Side-by-side racing, going to be a lot of fun in that progressive banking, and you might even see them use that front stretch there down on the apron just a little bit to get some speed as they transition into one. We're looking at close to 200 miles an hour, Bill, and it's going to be wicked to watch, my friend.
So, Sean, let's follow up with this. That's interesting. I didn't realize the series organizers try to mimic real-world events, because originally it was scheduled to start with a traditional 40% rubber, but since it's rained, they decided to have a clean track out there, huh?
They wiped her clean, baby. I mean, just clean.
I love these guys.
Yeah, and so I've been watching the practices. They got started earlier, and that's been the common thread. Man, there's lots of grip out here, and it's gonna be a lot of fun to watch them get started.
Well, great. We can really see the dynamic track. Now it's going to start. We can see the color change a little bit. Hey, let's get back to the penalty assessed to Brandon Cretion. And the good news is I see he's back in the field here again tonight, so that's great. Now, the We Stand United officials had this to say on their league Facebook page, and it goes like this. We don't like penalizing anyone out there, especially new drivers. One of the worst penalties to give or receive is stripping a win away or being stripped of a win. With rookie drivers, it being penalized is a turnoff, and they're gone. I hope that's not the case after the Atlanta penalty. They're talking about Cretion, is a great driver who just made some mistakes. The good news is Brandon's back here again tonight. Now, Sean, you actually saw some of the controversy on track live while we were doing the broadcast. What did you see out there?
Well, okay, so basically, Cretion, he came up on the track without merging into the backstretch. I mean, he literally came out of the pit and up onto the track. Unsafe entry onto the track. I'm sure anybody that's done any racing period, obviously, you can't come just straight back from the pit up into the line. It is an infraction, and unfortunately it had happened, and it happened again. So it was 2 incidents of it, and they went ahead and parked him, and then of course took that away from him. So just a mistake, an honest mistake, Bill. We're going to get past it. He's here tonight. It seems like we're moving on and moving forward, but Brandon, pretty hot shoe last week. I got a feeling he's going to make that up tonight.
Yeah, it's a long season, and from what we saw at Atlanta, this will just be a small bump in the road for his future. One of the things, and I can sympathize with series officials. I mean, in full disclosure, I manage a series, the MX5 World Tour, that is also carried here on the MX5 World on the Global Sim Racing channel every Saturday morning. Tune in for that one. That was a little blatant promotion there on my part. But one of the things that I found over the course of running series is, and it's just like in NASCAR too, Sean, you can probably relate to this and elaborate on it. It's not so much the penalties as what the drivers like is consistency. So what the series officials have said here, they were very sensitive to it being a harsh penalty, but they're going to be consistent, and they want the rules are there. They're in the Facebook page that said there's not a lot of gray area. It's black or white.
Yeah, it really is, and that you said consistency exactly, and that's what we're looking at is consistency, and we're going to be riding with them all season, and an opportunity to see how this plays out. But a good way to get things started and let everybody know that you mean business, and I think we'll see that translate to the type of racing we see on the track going forward.
Okay, what we're going to do here is, since it looks like the qualifying is all done, I think we're going to go ahead now and call the grid a little bit. Although I don't see Tad Granger putting in a time yet, so I hate to jump in here. I'm going to go here and set these, and this might change a little bit as if some drivers have to qualify a little bit later. Looking at the top 6. Now we have James. Now I got to get this straight. These are not brothers here. I think I was misinformed. It's Mullins and Mullis. I think I got them confused. Thought they were related. James Mullins sitting at the top in our poll, and next to him is Cordell Colon in the outside of row 2. We go down outside of row 1. Looking at row 2. Ricky Howell Jr. is going to be on the inside. And then here's the guy we've been talking about. It looks like he's fast again, Sean. Brandon Cretion. We go to Jimmy Mullis inside of row 3. And then Tate Lytle on the outside in the 6th position. Sean?
All right. And then number 20 inside of row 4, that's going to be Alex Skinner. Finian DeCuna going to start 8th outside of row 4 there. The number 9, Travis Henderson. He'll start 9th in the number 24. Brad Walsh in the number 88 will start 10th. Joshua Wolf in the Napa number 15 will start 11th. Nicholas Davis starts 7th. Nicholas Davis will start 12th. And Dawson Brock starting 13th in the number 83.
Okay, there we go. So Brock in 13th there. Now I'm going to go with Derek again until I hear different. Derek Prater in 14th position. Ryan Irby in the 15th spot. All ribbons and curls today is David Nannon. 17th spot goes to Matthew Cisna. He's going to be flying out of there in row 17. And then Trevor Vroomvarowski back in 18th. Sean in 19th, who do you got?
All right, Bill, in 19th place, that is going to be Blake Heather. And just outside of him, Colton Davis will start 20th. In 21st, Robert Cartwright. 22nd, Chase Sutton. Tad Granger going 24th. And Zach Gaudette, 23rd.
I like those guys. Then there's a few other drivers here that have not put in qualifying times yet. These guys are pretty fast. We saw them last week. Very competitive. Nick Parrott is in there. Mike Manley and also Nolan Sutton down there. So we have 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 drivers on the grid, different names that we've seen. Only 22 of them have taken their grid spots yet. We still have a little bit of time here before they go to the pace lap. Sean, who are you liking tonight? I know it's tough to make a call here. We're just getting comfortable learning these guys. But from what you can tell from last week and what you know of the drivers in qualifying and practice, who do you like?
Man, I got to tell you, if I went straight on the, what they did in the practice session, Derek Prater looks like a man to beat. But you know what? I got a feeling about Finian DeCuna this evening. He wasn't one of the fastest in practice, but threw down an awful good qualifying time and could be a factor before the night's over. I'll take the number 9 this evening.
Yeah, we talked about the big DeCuna, and he had trouble following up his success at Daytona. Just couldn't seem to get the feel for the track at Atlanta, and really wasn't much of a factor there. Certainly up in the points still, thanks to the good finish in the season opener there. I'll tell you, I'm glad to see Brandon Cretion is back. Always like to see him do good. The guy that I thought was really fast in Atlanta, and he hasn't qualified very good, is down there sitting in 23rd, is Zach Wadette. Now, he was really fast. He's in the number 8 machine, or the, actually, we'll get a car number for him. He's the number 18 machine for Zach Wadette. And I think that's somebody to keep an eye on now as we're just about wrapping up qualifying. Still, maybe a few late guys might sneak in there. Sean, with the green track, do you think the tires will be, does iRacing take that into account? Will tires wear more, do you think, on a fresh track like this than it would if it was rubbered up?
Well, I got to be honest with you, with it not being just blistering hot on the track, tires will probably wear pretty well. This is an open set that these guys are running this evening, and with that open setup, I mean, you have the advantage of setting up a car the way you want to drive it. I think we'll see some pretty decent, run on these tires. Honestly, I don't know that it'll be a factor with 50% fuel and maybe some caution flags. Those may not come into play on that stretch run.
Yeah, now, Sean, we got information here earlier that there's some sad news. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, Tad had gotten on me with me just a little earlier and wanted to let me know that Blake Freeman, one of the drivers here in the series, employee of his had passed away earlier today, and worked for Blake for a few years. And we're going to take the pace lap here as kind of a moment in silence for that gentleman, and we wish him eternal peace and his family the best during this time, his friends, and Blake as well. And like I said, we'll take this pace lap here as a moment of silence. We'll drop the green and we'll get going.
Yeah, it's one of the interesting things that sometimes iRacing takes a turn that the creators never thought they would, and we've seen some in other series that we've done here on GSRC, some poignant times and some real affection that can happen when something tragic happens or something wonderful happens. We've seen babies saluted, and in this case, it's certainly we want to wish our thoughts and prayers go out to his family. So what we'll do right now is we'll be quiet here until they come around, till the pace car comes in, and we go green to start this event. So our thoughts and prayers are with the family of the departed. "26 cars will start this event. Chug-a-lug makes you want to holler Heidi Ho. James Mullen takes them to the to the start-finish line. It looks like that it's going to be Cologne going to get a great jump on the outside in the 50. Cologne's going to take that outside lane and move into the lead. Ricky Howell going to get third position. Jimmy Mullis going to fall back into fourth. Fifth and sixth, Brandon Cretion in the 20 in the O2 machine, and Alex Skinner in the 20 round out the top six. Sean,
Get a car spinning in three. Caution's out. Oh, at the back of the field, trouble.
Blake Heather, our last race winner, is involved. Blake is out of the race. No, it's Colton Davis. Heath is also involved. Heath is in the wall. Davis took a hard hit. Heather might be able to get repairs.
Catching it on the replay here. Looking at Blake Heather's car back there. There's the number 7. Oh, and you see the 4 going around, and Heather gets hit from behind. That was a mess to start the race there, Bill.
One more look, and Heather is still out there circling the track. It looks like his damage was not as severe as the other cars that we were involved in. You can see Heather there, the number 7 machine. as we go to slow motion. And then he got tipped, and then he got collected from behind there. You can see Heather, after the initial tip, got collected, and then he got spun up there.
Yeah, it looks like it was Colton Davis that first got out of shape there. Maybe got loose, and that kind of started the chain reaction of events that happened there, Bill.
Now, Heather posted a qualifying time, but his qualifying time was 28.1. I mean, he qualified 19th, so he was well down the list. So, once again, bad luck falls previous winners. The winners of the Daytona race could not follow it up in Atlanta, and it looks like the winner in Atlanta is going to have trouble here as they head west out to Las Vegas.
Yeah, kind of an inauspicious start there. Just about to get that first lap down, and all heck breaks loose there in 3. Really just coming out of 3, going into 4 there at the top of the track.
Well, let's go ahead now and go to the actual start of the race that we saw there. Now, at Atlanta, we saw that the inside lane was really the lane of choice, and the poor drivers that were stuck on the outside, they would lose 3 or 4 positions before they could tuck in. Now, that wasn't the case this time, as Cologne was able to get past Mullins. Mullins was on the inside position there. We're going to watch now as they come around for this restart. It's going to be inverse. We're going to have Cologne on the inside and Mullins on the outside. So we'll get an idea if it's advantage in car or if it's an advantage if that outside lane is the place to be.
Well, I can tell you it hasn't worked out for 3 of those drivers. They're still in the pits. Robert Cartwright, Chase Sutton, and Colton Davis all still sitting down there getting some repair. It does look like Colton Davis and Cartwright have both left the server. So, I guess that leaves. That's going to leave Chase Sutton to sit it out and see if he can get back on track and get some points.
Now let's see if look at who we have back there. Some big names at the back of the pack there. Granger sitting back in 15th position right now. Let's look for some other. We have. How did our last race winner? Did he get back out there? Okay, Heather is back out in 20th. He's got Manley behind him. Zach Guadet, who is really fast as Atlanta.
Yeah, and Heather brought it in for a pit stop, Bill. He brought that in and got fresh tires after spinning around there. Might have even gotten a little bit of repair while he was on the jack.
Now, here's something to keep an eye on. Guadet in the number 18 machine is just coming out of the pits right now. He was really, really fast last week at Atlanta. He didn't get a qualifying time in, so we really can't tell what he's got going on here today. Looking at his practice times, though, they were very competitive. So, that's a sleeper we might want to keep an eye on there in that beautiful kind of black and gold machine there. Black and orange machine. Car number 18.
Well, it looks like the number 3, Nick Parrott, he decided to come on down, and he got caught up in that just a little bit. I think he got maybe just a little bit of damage on that car as he was trying to get through that incident, but he is back down pit lane. Car is up on the jack now getting tires, and now he is away.
Yeah, now we're lap 5, so we'll keep an eye on these guys. In theory, they can run a little bit longer there, so Guadet's going to be able to go a little bit longer. We'll see how Parrott does. They might be able, what this will give these guys is 4 or 5 more laps of green flag racing that they could stay out, and if they happen to get lucky and catch a yellow there, it can one way to get from the back of the pack to the front of the pack really quickly if that yellow flag happens to fall in that little 5 or 6 lap window that you have due to the extra fuel. Remember, these guys are carrying, they don't start with 50% fuel. They're actually starting with a 50%, their fuel cells are 50% smaller, so they're not going to be able to have quite as long as run as you're used to seeing on the actual real-world NASCAR broadcasts. Lights are off, and here we go. Starting, going to be lap number 6. Let's see who gets the jump this time. Is it going to be the car on the inside of James Mullis? No, it's not. It's going to be the outside again. Car number 50. Cologne gets the jump, and again, that outside lane seems to be the lane of choice this time. Mullis is going to move into first position. Cologne moving into first position. Mullis stuck on the inside now in that number 5, looking to get in there. But Mullis, I'm going to get this straight. It's Mullins in the 5 and Mullis in the 34 machine trying to pin Mullis to the inside. Mullis now with position is going to actually have a nice momentum and take over the lead.
Using that apron there, Bill. He's down in the apron, going to transition back up. Trying to take that spot away in second. There he is down on the inside looking at first place. There goes Mullis in the number 34. Car's getting high just behind. Alex Skinner getting up into the wall, slowing things down on the outside.
We're looking at that now as we're back. It looks like he's got it straightened out. Falling back quickly, though.
I think he's just gathering it up, to be honest with you. I don't see any damage on the car. It looks like he avoided the wall, but certainly taking a full lap to get back ahead of steam going here again.
All right, meanwhile, up in front of Sean, I'm going to be honest with you. We're going to have to give these guys nicknames because there's no way I'm going to be able to keep James Mullins straight from Jimmy Mullis. I just don't have the talent. There goes Mullis to the inside there, not taking a peek, still sinking back in second place. Mullins in the 5. Now they go side by side.
Well, Bell, it's probably pretty easy to remember. Mullis is in the GSRC machine. We could just keep following that. The red and white number 34 there with the black numbers on the door. Jimmy Mullis.
Look at the line that Mullis takes there back in second place. He likes to use that apron, dips down there. Now, let's drop back a little bit because there's a good battle going back here, farther back. Now, Cordell Cologne in the 50 machine running just ahead of Travis Henderson in that 24 DuPont machine. Sorry, it's the DuPont machine on my car. It's not what you guys have. You've got a green car on your screen.
No, you had it right, Bill. That's the number 24 DuPont Special there, the 50th Anniversary NASCAR edition.
There we go.
I'm watching Joshua Wolf right now in the Napa number 15. He's got a good little battle going on back here. He's got Trevor Vorosky right up there in front of him. He's been following here for a couple laps, trying to make a move on these guys, set them up. But right now, just happy to ride along. Good shot out the front window there as they head across the front. You see them using that apron. That's where the speed is down there. If you can handle the transition, come back up, it's not a bad place to be.
Meanwhile, out in front is still Mullins and Mullis running in the same position that they've been running for a while, but those guys are beginning to open it up a little bit on the guys behind them.
Yes.
And maybe, look at the second place driver, Jimmy Mullis. Might have scraped the wall a little bit. He's losing pace now, losing touch with Mullins.
He is, and we're going to check it out. We're going to take a quick look at the replay and see what happened to Mullis there. We're on board with him. He's got the 5 right there in front of him. And just gets a little wide there on the track. Maybe the tire's starting to give up a little bit, driving it a little bit hard. I don't know, Bill.
Well, he's back on pace now. I think it was just a little slowdown there that he had, but he's now got back up to pace. He's able to stay ahead of Cologne. Keep an eye on this Travis Henderson, though, running in 4th place. He dives it into the corner deep, not able to make up. Side by side behind him. Let's look at this battle going on for 5th. This Cretion in the 02 machine being battled by Varun Vorosky in 6th place there in the 10 machine. Vorosky now moving to the inside. Just can't get the drive off the corner. The 02 has better momentum from that outside lane, got the RPMs tuned up, but Vorosky gets to the inside and gets it, and Cretion now falls. He was slipping, he had to, Cretion very loose. He's coming into the pits. I'm not sure if that's what he intended to do.
Well, he got awful loose coming off and then just ducked it down, and the caution flag is out.
Oh, this is going to work out perfect for Cretion. as if he knew it was happening. The caution is out, and Cretion has come in. We have a smoking car back there. I'm looking at Ricky Howell is also in trouble.
Yeah, I saw the 21 there. Got caught up in something.
And the 78 of Ricky Howell was involved.
Well, let's check the replay here. There's the number 21 on screen, looking from above. And he cuts down the inside there. Ooh. That took out a couple of cars there. That's going to be heavy damage. They hit that inside wall pretty hard, Bill.
Yeah, it looks like Howell and Derek Prater was involved in the 33 machine. Howell in the 78 machine. The 21 machine of Nannon also caught up in that accident. All three of those cars hard into the inside wall.
Yeah, and it looks like that's going to end Prater's night. He has checked out. That car hit the number 33, hit really hard, and probably a little bit too much damage to continue. I'm going to guess maybe a blown motor. That's where we were seeing all that smoke from.
Right, now here come your leaders into the pit right now. Now, my question is going to be if we can go back and find where Cretion is, because he made that stop right before the yellow came out. I'm not sure if he got caught behind the pace car or not. Let's see if he did. Granger is behind the pace car.
Well, Cretion is showing a lap down to me right now, Bill, so he must have gotten caught behind that.
Yeah, what could have been a good pit stop if he could have got out in front of the pace car would have been good news for him because he would have cycled around in front of everybody. But now I think he's probably going to get the wave around, so it'll probably be just put him at the back of the field.
Jimmy Mullis staying on the pit road, getting some damage repair. He had flat spotted the right side of that car. He stays in, got to come out at the back of the field after a long pit stop. Gets a little bit of repair on that right side, not fully repaired. He is dealing with a car that is, like I said, a little bit flat on the right side. Might be a little bit hard to handle, but maybe the track conditions tonight play into his favor.
Let's go up to car number 8 right now. Let's go ahead to Tad Granger and then look back one spot back. And Brandon Cretion. Oh, there we go. Okay, there goes Granger into the pit stall right now. Cretion had to be saying, "Come on, Tad, don't do this to me," because Cretion's a lap down. That will give him the wave around now. If Tad had decided to stay out there, Cretion would have been stuck behind him. So I'm imagining here that Cretion's going to get the wave around, go around to the back of the pack. There are points for leading laps, so Granger out there getting a bonus point for laps led.
Yeah, get him while you can. Definitely got to pick up every point you can. This is a long season, and man, when we get down to the stretch, you're going to sure wish you'd maybe led a few laps if you're, 3 or 4 points on the side of negative there.
I don't know. From what I saw from Brandon, how fast Cretion was last race, I'm not sure if I was Granger, I wouldn't have decided. And even though my tires were worn, that's just one less name I have to battle. Put him a lap down at least, get him out of the way for a while. So we're waiting. We're assuming that the O2 car is going to get the wave around there, which is going to put Mullins. And now look, we have Henderson. Now Henderson's the guy that I thought was pretty fast. So we're going to have Henderson on the outside of Mullins. So look for that outside lane, Henderson to make a move. So far, the outside lane has been 2 for 2 on the starts and restarts. Cologne going to be in 3rd place. Vorosky up to 4th outside of row 2.
We got some cars deciding to come in here real quick. Maybe top off. Yeah, Irby's down. Getting into his pit. Let's see what he does here.
And while we're watching that, Cretion now gets the wave around, so he's going to come around. Going to probably fill in about, I figure 19th maybe. Depends on if those cars get out of the pits before he makes it all the way around.
Yeah, Irby and Manley decide to come in and get tires.
Another car to keep an eye on is inside of row 3. He was fast last race at Atlanta, then ran into some trouble. Joshua Howlin' Wolf there in the 15 machine. Inside of row 3 to start this one. Outside of him will be the 19 machine of Tate Lytle. But the guy I think is going to be the guy to watch here on this restart is the 24 on the outside, Travis Henderson. Coming around, the lights are off. This pace car should pull in as we're going to be starting lap 20. Henderson laying back a little bit in the 24, trying to time this thing. Mullins gets a nice start. It looks like Mullins is going to get there. Henderson now has the momentum on the outside, getting a little help from the 10 machine. There's our favorite number 50 on the inside, Cordell Colon. Colon kind of bottled up behind Mullins now. Mullins moves to the outside, trying to pick a lane. Look at the drive from Henderson on the outside, trying to squeeze Mullins to the inside. Henderson with momentum on the outside. He's got that rolling now. He's got a half car length. Can he close the door on Mullins as they go into one? Still side by side. Great racing, Sean. And now Henderson finally closes the deal. Mullins got a little bit loose and is going to lose momentum, and Travis Borowski now moves up into second place. Mullins drops back to third with Cologne picking up fourth. Side by side is Lytle and Wolf. Wolf on the outside in that 15 machine. Battle for fifth.
I don't want to confuse you, but here comes Jimmy Mullis in the number 34, baby. He is tracking right now. Just on rails. He's got the 15 right in front of him, the 19 down there to the bottom. Here he comes. Watch out on the outside. Jimmy Mullis coming through.
And while that's going on, Trevor Borowski has taken over the lead. Gotten around Travis Henderson. A lot of different names up in the front. Borowski in that number 10 machine. Starting to get a little bit of distance on Henderson, and now looking to the outside is Mullis. Henderson closes the door, closing off that line. Mullins is going to have to drive where they ain't. Henderson leaving that outside lane open. Mullis says, no, it's mine. Mullis now with some momentum on the outside, and Mullins is going side by side with Henderson. Mullins is going to have the momentum. Let's see if he can drive it off the corner. Still side by side as they go cross the start finish line, and it looks like Mullins is going to go back into second place. Henderson not giving up yet as they're still side by side, but this is where, coming off a 2, that's where that outside lane really gets it going. Mullins into second. Henderson now losing momentum, and now here comes Cologne on the inside. Cologne takes over third. Mullis dropping, stuck on the outside. Here comes Howlin' Wolf on the inside of that 15 machine.
Man, Brad Walsh holding off the pack of angry wolves behind him. He's now able to catch up to Jimmy Mullis, seeing a little smoke there in the corner. A little hard on the tires. Brad Walsh done a really nice job of getting some separation to those guys behind him. There's Granger. Granger's caught the field now, too. The 8 Budweiser machine, he's in it, baby. Granger's coming. Now they've got some separation from that pack behind him. Still seeing a little bit of tire smoke. Don't want to make that right rear angry. Not on this track. May have lots of grip, but man, you wear that right rear out, you're going to have trouble getting off. Pass for the lead, Bill.
Meanwhile, up in front, Mullins on the outside in that 5 car is making it work. Borowski drops into second. Now, Sean, what I've noticed so far here is that the inside works everywhere, but the inside is not very good as they go through 2. Seems like that outside lane can get a real drive off there, and that's where it really seems to have an advantage. So right now, Mullins back out in front, Borowski in second. We'll set these up a little bit for you. Cologne in third, Henderson in fourth. Lytle back there in fifth as they go single file. Mullis in sixth. Walsh is now very slow. Go ahead.
Yeah, Walsh just got a piece of the wall coming out of 4. He picked up a little concrete on the right side there.
Howlin' Wolf now up to 7th. Tad Granger in that 8th machine now. in 8th. Now remember, Granger was up in front and came back in for that late pit stop, so he's worked his way through the field nicely. Walsh back there in 10th position. Here comes Alex Skinner taking a peek for 10th.
Yes, sir. Going to try and do it on the inside. Let's see if he can nick this stick. Not many have. A lot of momentum up top there. 88 just coming right around there, Bill.
Once again, Gaudet is in the wall.
Can he
Gaudet's
save it?
Keep it out of the traffic in front of people. He's got it pretty well straight. Don't loop up in front of people. Oh, great driving. Great job by Blake Heather in the 7 machine. Almost collected him.
Heather just gets by, Bill. I mean, I don't know if you could have even gotten a sheet of paper in between those two. Let's see what happened to Gaudet here. I think he just got loose, man.
He got the wall, Sean, and then then here's a matter of just trying to keep it in the same place. And Heather, We're going to go on board, Sean, with Heather. Tell me what you're looking at here from the driver's point of view.
Oh, boy. All right. So you start, we're looking off Heather's windshield now. And, you'll see the car start to come around. Then you see smoke, and then it's like, all right, well, what do I do? Where do I go? I think I'm safe up top. He looks like he's down there on the inside. I'll stay up top. Everything's there he is. And and I did, a little bit of damage to the right front there on Heather's car. Not much. I think he'll be okay. He'll probably get it taken care of here in the pit lane.
Well, the old racing cliche is aim at the spinning car. That works great unless the car is kind of in stationary there. So, boy, he just got around. Well, everybody's come into the pits now. Staying out behind the pace car is Nick Parrott. Looks like Nick's going to try to pick up that. Is he still on the lead lap? Yes, he is. So it looks like Nick's trying to get that lead lap-led bonus point. Coming out of the pits, it looks like Mullins is going to get out first. Broski, Cologne, Mullis back up there. Wolf going to come out 5th. Lytle in 6th, and Granger behind them. I think I got everybody. Well, Sean, it looks like tires. There's no question about it. If you have the opportunity to come in, it looks like you got to come in.
Yeah, you can't. You don't want to be in that spot with everybody else behind you with fresh tires. That's not. That's probably not in your best interest. You're going to get run over quick.
Yeah, we went green at I think it was lap 21 when we went green, and now we see you see Parrott pulling in there, getting his fresh rubber. So even at 10, 11, or 12 laps in, it looks like everybody's decided they have to come in. Lap 32 of 100 will just about reach the 1/3 mark. We keeping track of yellow flags. What are we on here? 1, 2. I think this is 3.
That is correct, sir. That was our 3rd caution flag this evening.
We'll go ahead as we have a second here. We'll take a little break, and we'll be back in just a few for when they go back to green. So come back in just a minute. Just past the 1/3 mark in the We Stand United. Race number 3, the Cobalt 150. 100 laps here on this 1.5 miles at Las Vegas. They're just going into corner number 3. Pace car will be pulling off, exiting through 4. Your leader right now is James Mullins. Actually, I'm going to correct myself. I really think it's Trevor Vorosky is here. It shows up second because Vorosky's laying back a little bit. Vorosky's going to take him to the start here. Vorosky in the 10 car is your leader, laying back a little bit, trying to get a run. Now he goes. Now he goes. He really checked up the field there. Mullins on the outside, trying to get some help from the 34 machine of Mullis. Mullins and Mullis doing a little tandem racing there, but it's not going to work. Cologne moves into second place. Vorosky's going to get the lead. Moving to the inside now is the number 15 machine, Joshua Wolf. But he can't. Again, that inside line on the exit of 2 is just horrendous. And now Wolf starts to drop as you can't get a bite off of there. Wolf falls back. Mullis and the 34 machine on the outside as they go into turn 3 side by side.
Dawson Brock in the number 83 able to get away right now. He is on the come, baby. On the outside, making that groove work up there. Got a really nice run. That car is hooked up. Watch out for the 83, the GoPro.
Getting a great... This pass was set up here as we have a pass for the lead.
Oh! The 8 is spinning down on the infield. Oh, there goes Dawson Brock. Oh! And that's going to bring out the yellow.
Brandon Cretion is involved in this one. He's into the wall hard. Tad Granger in the number 8 machine is involved. I think it's going to be the end of both of their days. This is what I like. I know the fans of Cretion and Granger are not going to be happy with no fast repairs, but pretty much going to end their day. It makes every accident count.
Yeah. And
watching it on replay there, you can see.
Yeah, Bill, the 8 just got loose off. He tried to save it and overcorrected just a bit. Gets it down in the grass, all the way down on the pit lane. And then they started wrecking up just in front of him. And that was the 83 that got loose. We were following him. That was Dawson Brock. So I think what we had were 2 separate incidents, actually.
No.
I think we'll get a good shot for Brandon Cretion here. He's right behind Dawson Brock.
And then maybe if we get a chance, as we're watching this one, if we get a chance to watch with Granger too, it's going to be an interesting ride. There, we're on board with Cretion.
Yeah, and he gets hooked up with Alex Skinner, gets into the back of Alex Skinner, who was spinning.
It would be fun to go on board with Granger because it looks like he's the guy who starts it. Now watch this, we're on board with him. He gets loose. And now Sean, what he does, after he gets loose, he takes it down into the grass, he gathers it back up. Now watch this, he's loose, he goes onto the grass. Still, he's no problem. Still, everything is fine. He's onto the grass, he gathers it up, but the problem is he's got to come back up into this mess, and he gets into the back of Cretion.
Boy, that's a tough break. That took the whole front clip off of that number 8 machine, and hey, he's done for the night. Went ahead and left the server.
You had to be saying, I'm going to make it, everything's going to be fine, and then all of a sudden everything came down the racetrack, what they called cleared, and it cleared down low right into him.
Well, a little argy-bargy there on the pit entry. Vorosky deciding to stay out, pick up a point as the leader of this race, but he does it real last minute, right before the commitment cone. Takes a hard right turn back out onto the track.
And what I think, what Bobrovsky is doing here, now here we go. I don't think he's going to come in this time, Sean, because he's already led a lap, so I don't think he was doing it for the bonus point. I just think he didn't want to give up track position. We'll see what can happen now on 3 or 4 laps old tire compared to Cologne, who did come in. Lap 39. I'm having a good time. Maybe some of the drivers aren't with all the yellows that are going on. They're spending a lot of time under yellow.
Yeah, it was, again, it was just kind of a situation there where, one car gets a little out of shape and you got to watch yourself and you try and make an evasive move to avoid somebody possibly coming back up the track. And sometimes that move might be a little bit too close to somebody else and cars get to spinning around. And, man, we've torn up a lot of race cars here this evening. Looks like we've got about close to 9-10 of them still sitting behind sitting there on the pit lane getting repair, and several of them have left as a result of that. So a little bit of attrition tonight, but man, we're going to get back to racing, and looks like we're going to do it with 16 cars in the field left, getting on this thing and doing some hard racing. 17, I'm sorry.
Yeah, my notes here, as you see my notes that I have sticky notes all over, but it looks like something from John Nash in Beautiful Mind. I have things scratched off. Drivers are out of this race left and right, so let's go ahead and set the grid here as the lights are still on. They're going to go around one more time, but this is kind of interesting. Up at the front, Trevor Varun-Varosky, he stayed out, and also staying out is the driver on the outside of him, Cordell Colon. Neither one of those drivers came in for fresh rubber. Now that's in contrast to Brandon Walsh in the, I'm going to double check and make sure Brandon actually did come in that number 88 machine and made a pit stop. I don't think he did either.
No, so I believe you're right. He did not.
So I think Brandon also stayed out. So that gives the top three cars. We go back one more position. Then we go to James Mullins, and we know that Mullins came in. So, I like Mullins right now. He's one of the fastest cars out here today, and he's got a little more rubber on the road than the drivers ahead of him.
Yeah, well, speaking of one of the fastest cars, and again, this is going to drive you crazy, Bill. I'm sorry, but
I know.
Jimmy Mullins has been awful fast, and he's going to be starting right there with James Mullins.
I don't want to wish either one of those drivers ill fate, bad luck, but, of all the drivers that have crashed out, could not one of those guys, Mullins or Mullis, leave so it would be easier on me? Let's just hope they don't come down to a last lap battle, because I'm letting you call the last lap, Sean. If that's the case, okay?
Well, we'll see which one of us can get a handle on it before this is all over. But the lights are out on the pace car. We're going to get a great restart here because we're going to get to see what tires with a few more laps on them are going to do. Mullins, Mullis, Howland, Wolf, Tate, Lytle, those guys are going to be coming. They're going to want the lead, and what's Varosky going to do?
Watch Varosky. He really, the lights are green. The lights are green, and Trevor is really late to the gas. Still going to get the jump, though. The lights went green, and Cologne on the outside said, I'm going. I'm not waiting for you, Trevor. And he's going anyway. But anyway, Trevor, go ahead. Varosky, go ahead, Sean.
No, Zach Gaudette had all kinds of trouble on the start. He spun it, maybe missed a gear or something coming to the replay real quick. The 18 is back there. I don't know. Again, maybe he spun the tires. We're watching the replay here, trying to see what happened. Ooh, it looks like he had to check up a little bit. He got going a little bit faster than the car in front of him. That sent him down to the inside. He's all by himself now, back there in 16th place.
Well, now we're back looking here back at the lead. You wanted to know about what fresh rubber will do? Well, James Mullins says, I like my fresh rubber. Heather is spinning. Heather is... let's see if that brings out the yellow. No, we're staying under green.
Yeah, he's smoking bad. Heather able to get the car down to the apron. Coming around really slow, trying to get into pit lane. That car is bad wrecked. Lots of damage.
Get out my red felt tip and scribble, scribble, scribble. One less driver to worry about.
Yeah, you can scribble, scribble, scribble that one. That's going to be a lot of damage, a lot of time in the pit.
Sean, I think if I get in, if you want to take over lead, I think I can get, as we have a pass for the lead right now. Mullins is going to go inside of Varosky, and he looks like he's going to get this done. They go side by side. very close, but I think the preferred position. Let's see what kind of momentum Vorosky has in that 10 car. Look at Mullins drive to the inside on the apron, comes back up, and is going to get this done. Vorosky moves back to second position. Mullis in third. Sean, what I was saying is, I think if you take over lead and I actually get in a car right now, I think I could probably get a top 10 finish the way the attrition is taking this field slower.
Yeah, maybe. That's a heck of a move by James Mullins, though. Taking that lead away, uses the apron down there to pick up some speed. You see here, he's not making a move. He's just hanging on to the lead, doesn't take it down there. Gonna take it up top, all the way up top, Mullins does. Gets a nice run off the top of the turn, able to pull away from Vrosky.
Yeah, turn 2, you take it high and then you drop it down. You drop it down. That seems to be where the speed is. Let's drop back to 5th place now. It's a nice little battle. Tate Lytle being chased by Brad Walsh, and then Howlin' Wolf, Joshua hanging right in there in that 15 machine. I think he could be a force to reckon with by the time we get to the closing stages of this races.
I think you're right. He's been fast since the start. Doing pretty good in 7th place right now, making up a little bit of ground just in front of him there. There's the 88. Got Brad Walsh in his tracks. Those two working pretty well together right now, picking up a little bit of speed. The field has definitely spread out here since that restart, Bill.
Starting to settle down a little bit, but a guy who's on the hunt is the number 60 machine, Ryan Irby, trying to see if he can get around Travis Henderson in that DuPont machine. Irby in that 60s, running back there in 9th. We haven't heard much from him today. Seeing if he can get it done. Let's see what kind he's looking here. As they come across the start-finish line, look at the 24 dip down onto the apron. Nowhere. Irby's trying to find a way to go, as Henderson using all the track from the bottom to the top.
Yes, sir. Henderson making it wide, baby, and Irby having a little bit of trouble getting around. He's going to try and pull it off here, going into 3. Taking a look to the inside, going to back off to Slabik. Get a nice run there. Getting awful close to Henderson, but not enough to make a move there. Not yet. Not yet. Just in front of them, Wolf goes all the way down on the apron, comes all the way back across the track. Man. Woo-hoo. Handful of wheel there for Howlin' Wolf.
Up at the lead, James Mullins has begun to stretch it out a little bit. He's got about a half-second lead back to Vorosky. Then it gets a little tighter. Mullis, Cologne, and Lytle in a nice little battle for 3rd.
Okay, it looks like Nick Parrott's getting that car back on the track now. He's about 8-9 laps down right now, but Nick getting back, gonna get some points. Again, with the attrition rate the way it's been tonight, not a bad idea to get back here and maybe somehow slip in a 14th, 15th place finish.
Now, on my notes, if we go back to 10th position in Finian Dacuna. Oh, pass for, we're going to jump to 3rd place here as we have a pass for 3rd. Cologne going to move ahead of Mullis.
Yeah, Mullis got a little loose getting off the turn, and that car right up near the wall. He had to back out of it, and that did open up the door there for Cologne.
Now, just to follow up, we don't need to go there, but just to follow up on Finian Dacuna, I had notes that he was involved in an incident earlier. I may have misread that, but currently he's up to 10th position right now. Running in that number 9 machine, yeah. Looking at, some serious damage in the front of that machine, so still running on the lead lap.
Yeah, he's running. I don't know how, not maybe as fast as the guys in front of him. That front end is certainly not aero-friendly now on that Toyota, the Lenovo Toyota. Not very aero-friendly, sir.
Well, Sean, it's maybe a bit misleading. You think, oh, great, he's running up in 10th position, but you take into account all the cars that are no longer on the track at all. That's probably more like 20th position, which would probably be more accurate to where the speed that he's running right now. Nice little battle going back here for 4th position. Yes, as I got sucked into the pit lane there. Mullis looking on the inside. Now, that doesn't work there. Oh, that 19 machine. Lytle trying to make it work on the inside. That's not going to work. Mullis has the preferred position off of 2. But if Lytle can hang on as they go side by side through 3, can't make that inside work. And now he loses all sorts of momentum. And that's going to open up the door to Joshua Wolf to fly around the outside. So he tried to get the position, and it ended up costing him not just the position he couldn't get, but one more. But he's fighting back now.
Yeah, he's fighting back, but Joshua Wolf getting a really nice run off the top of the turn there, coming out of 2, able to just power on by him. Tough break for Tate there. He was really moving well, and now he's lost that momentum. Those guys able to get around. Mullis still looking strong in a number 34. Cordell Cologne looking really strong in the 50. Mullis there taking it down on the apron, been doing that all night, picking up a little bit of ground. He likes that move down to the apron and seems to handle the transition back up to the track really well, Bill.
Oh, we're looking at this battle there. You see Henderson back out, looking at that number 3 machine of Nick Parrott. Is he on the lead lap with this, guys? Is that a battle for position? No, it is not. Parrott is flying as he is currently on lap 50. He's 8 laps down. Well, he's got a ways to go. Certainly that number 3 machine. So we're going to leave him out of the mix. Now watch out for Walsh here running in 7th. Henderson in that 24 machine. And again, we've been watching it for several laps now. Ryan Irby just can't figure out how to get around that 24 machine of Travis Henderson.
No, he can't. He's had trouble pulling that move off. Right now, it seems like he's content to just sit there and ride along. But maybe, he's setting him up there a little bit. And he comes around the outside, and we're going to see something here in 1, maybe.
Yep, now if he can get the outside lane here, I like what I see here. I like the outside run off of 2, and he got it. He got the momentum. I like outside of 2, and then around over here. I'm not sure if the outside lane works as well. Let's see what he can do. He's got the momentum. If he can hold it through 4, I think he's going to get this done, and he might even have another driver in mind now as he's going to try to make a move, making that high, wide, and handsome.
And here come the pit stops. Oh,
Henderson almost gets up into Irby. Nice job from Travis to keep that car under control. I thought he was going to come up the outside. Now look at that 60 machine flying around the outside, and it looks like slowing down is Brad Walsh in the 9 machine.
Yeah, Brad Walsh coming into the pit. Yes, sir. A lot of cars starting to make their way
Brad
in.
Walsh is... Woo-hoo! Brad Walsh having some fun getting it slowed down for pit lane.
Mullins is in, Vavrovsky is in, Mullis is in, Cologne is in, Tate Lytle's in, Brad Walsh is in. Hey, everybody coming down. Joshua Wolf taking over the lead of this race. Ryan Irby up to 2nd.
And we'll see if Joshua's going to bring it down this time. So Joshua comes in. Now what we'll do is he gets it inside the cone. We'll see if we can pick up our leaders as they come around while Wolf stays in his pit.
Irby's in.
Mullis just coming out now. Let's give you the order as those cars that are coming out. It's going to be Mullis, Vavrovsky, Cologne, and Mullis. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mullins just bringing it up. Look how they're obeying the merge rule that got Cretion in trouble last time.
Okay, now Henderson is still on track. He is now the leader of this race.
Now here comes Wolf out of the pit lane right now, but he's not going to have the momentum, I don't think. Nope, he's going to get past. There goes Vavrovsky, there goes Mullins, Vavrovsky, there goes Mullis and Cologne. Wolf is going to come out in 3rd. Nope, it looks like Lytle's going to get him.
Okay, here comes Henderson. He's giving up the ghost. Henderson is in.
And Wolf is going to tuck in behind Finian DeCuna. Well, this will give us a good indication that as we stay on Wolf, this will give us a good indication of how fast DeCuna really is. We'll see if Wolf can make short work of him here, because certainly he was fast enough to run with the leaders.
Well, DeCuna, I believe, was the one that started that round of pit stops, Bill. I think he was the first one to come in. Nice battle, though. That car handling pretty well considering all the damage on the front end.
Henderson just rolling out of the pits now. That's going to give the lead back over to Mullins. Oh, I'm sorry. We have. Well, I guess I have to announce Manley is your leader, although I think he needs to come in.
Yeah, he's making the call now, but he's going to have to stay out for one more lap. Made that call and was a little hot coming through. I think he thought better of it.
There you go, Mike coming in now. Let's give him I think he got a lap left, so Mike Manley coming in. Now that'll surrender the lead over to James Mullins. Vavrosky in second, Cologne in third, Mullis in fourth, Lytle in fifth, closely chased by Joshua Wolf, who was able to get around Takuna. Then Henderson's going to cycle out in ninth. And let's go back. We haven't talked about this driver. Alex Skinner inside the top 10 now.
Yeah, Skinner
in the 20 machine. Go ahead, Chuck.
Yeah, well, no, Skinner having trouble earlier. Got caught up in some of those incidents, and he's managed to overcome that and now be a contender in this race.
We're looking at, you're watching Skinner right there.
And we saw Skinner take a pretty hard hit and perseverance and a little bit of damage repair, and sitting there in ninth place, not a bad run.
Well, why don't we take this second? We can run down all the cars. We're back to 10th place. Why don't we run down all the cars that are still on the lead lap then? So if we drop back one more position, actually we'll call Skinner in ninth now that Manley has cycled back. We drop back to Zach Guadet, who I thought was going to be really fast. We saw him have some trouble running in 10th position. We move back one more, Sean. That gets us back to Brad Walsh, who has been up there for a while.
Yeah, Brad having a good run. He too found a little bit of trouble and is able to overcome that, but still in the hunt here.
And then drop back again. That gets us back to Ryan Irby. Now, Irby must have had a really poor pit stop because he was up there battling with Henderson. Henderson's running several seconds ahead of him now, so a bad pit stop from Irby. And then that gets us all the way back to the last car on the lead lap, and maybe I spoke fast enough to get that in there because Mike Manley, running 13th position, is about to go a lap down now as the leaders come around. Mullins looking to get him. Is he going to try to do it on the inside of exiting 4? Going to get that done. Manley dropping one lap down now, which will give us a dozen drivers on the lead lap. You know who's interesting, though? This Trevor Vavrosky. Boy, he's staying out there. Able to maintain pace with Mullins.
Well, I'll tell you what, our leader had just a little bit of trouble getting around Manley, and it was pretty tense there for a moment. Yeah.
Oh, look at Vavrosky now is in a log jam here as he's trying to get under those. That's Manley there, and I think that's Guadet, if I recognize that car. Did I get it right? Well, it's number 3, Parrott was, sorry.
Yeah, now Parrott obviously laps down, but they had to get by him, and that was close. Now Manley doing a pretty good job of hanging in there and just riding right now on the coattail of Vavrosky. Wants to keep himself maybe with a chance to, stay on this lead lap, and right now that opportunity slipping away.
Looking back at 6th position there. That's Lytle in 5th and being chased by that 15 machine of Joshua Wolf.
Man, Mullins just seems to be really hooked up right now. The deeper this race goes, that car just seems to be getting better, and he's riding up top there, saving those tires. Bill, it's go time, baby. We've only got 25, just over 25 laps left. It's time to get going. If you're not up there, you need to get up there now.
We do. These races go by quickly when we get some green flag runs, and we're having some now. We had a green flag pit stop, which is always so much more fun to watch as a fan and announce even, as we're still on board here with Wolf, looking to get around Lytle. Now let's see what he can do. Let's see if Lytle protects the outside going into 2, because that's really where the lane is. Lytle goes to the inside. Let's see what Wolf can do. Little higher on 2, and see if he can get some drive off of 2 and get this done. Pulling up a little bit. Not going to get it done this time. Those cars look pretty evenly matched. Sean, this is your best battle on the track right now, this battle here between Lytle and Wolf. Wolf now with a great run. I think we might have some action here.
You know, Vavrovsky up front here, he's trying to make it interesting. And, you know, Mullins, I said the car was hooked up, but, boy, he is really flirting with the wall quite a bit up there at that high line. And, you know, all it takes is one little mistake, and you get that car upset down into the grass. It could be trouble. Mullins, though, still your leader. Vavrovsky really on it right now. That, in fact, he had a better lap that last time around. So just a little bit of ground being made up. Not much, but I talked about it. This race starting to slip away. It's time to boogie.
Looking now back at this battle here with, I really thought that Wolf had it made, and that I might have slowed down a little. Yeah, I thought he might have caught the wall by the way he's like, just all of a sudden his momentum was just killed. So he's still trying to get around Lytle. He had it done that time on the outside of 2, but got a little high.
Cordell Cologne just having his own race right now, stuck by himself there in 3rd. Not much going on, doesn't have any help from behind, and doesn't have anything to fight for in front of him yet. Anything could happen, but Cordell Cologne really having a great run tonight, locking down 3rd place right now. It's all his.
And you can just see at the very tip of the screen there was Mullis in 4th coming in. But here's the real battle again. Joshua Wolf trying to figure out how to do this. Just staying behind Lytle. Just can't find the way around right now.
I love that shot right there, right off the rear bumper. Yeah.
Now he gets a drive off the inside of 4. Now he has the inside. The problem is he's got to get this done on the inside before they get to 2. Otherwise, Lytle will have the momentum, and I think he does now. Joshua, if you can pull up and close the door, but you can't, and here comes the momentum off of 2, and Lytle gets it. If he had a spotter, if he would have got it clear, he could have pulled up and closed the door on Lytle, but he just didn't want to do it.
You got some guys at the back of the field deciding to come on into the pits.
Right. Uh-oh, they're both coming in.
They're coming in.
Well, you couldn't beat them on the track, but Wolf, you beat them to the pit road entrance there. So,
well, everybody, all your leaders deciding to come down. A couple of guys went in. Dawson Brock was one of the first to do that, and
Wolf and Lytle had hit each other. We could feel that one coming.
Little spirited competition there.
Meanwhile, they're exiting. Here's another green flag. I have Mullis out ahead of Vavrovsky.
Yes, he is. Mullis with a really nice pit stop there. He gets out.
So that's our 2nd consecutive green flag. We've had some long runs here with 19 to go.
Yeah. Wolf and Lytle still battling, Bill, side by side, coming out of the pit.
Oh, Sean, they got to get this figured out here pretty soon, or I feel a yellow flag. They're still side by side. Cialis bathtubs across the start-finish line. Wolf on the outside. Now, if Wolf can keep Lytle pinned, he'll have the momentum outside of 2, and he'll be able to finish this. I like Wolf's position here as they go around 2. He should be able to get a run down the back straight. Lytle with a great exit. They're still side by side. Now as they go into 3, Lytle on the inside, Wolf on the outside in that 15 machine with a little more momentum. But Lytle tries to keep it in time. Lytle gets a little bit loose, and I think that Wolf is finally going to be able. You're clear, Joshua. Coming down, and he's got it. Woo!
James Mullins brings the number 5 down to the pit right in front of that action, Bill. Wolf just in front of him. Lytle.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Lytle looking to the inside of Wolf. You better be good if you're going to pull this off.
Oh, my.
lap after lap, almost touching right there. Lytle all the way down to the apron as they head off into one.
My mom would say, I know you guys are having fun, but it's going to end up with one of you crying. So I just look at the momentum now again as we stay on this battle. Just a tremendous battle for actually it's for 7th position now. It should be moved up a little bit as some of the cars that still have to come into pit. And Lytle is back out in front, but only for a second, because here comes Wolf to the inside. They've got a lapped car ahead of them. Wolf can use it as a pick. That's Nick Parrott, although Parrott's pretty fast. There's nowhere for you to go. There's no room for you to go on that, but he squeezes in, Nick.
Yeah, that was a squeeze job right there, man. That was fun to watch. Bill, the lead has changed. Mike Manley is out there leading this race, but guess who is just behind him? That's going to be Jimmy Mullis, who, after that round of pit stops, cycled back in. Manley hasn't pitted yet. I'm thinking he's going to have to. Everybody else did. So Jimmy Mullis could be the guy to take over the lead of this race here in just a moment.
Mullis right now, or Manley, hoping for a downpour. That's probably the only thing that could get him this victory. Unfortunately, iRacing doesn't have that in the software yet. And the fact that they're in Nevada probably doesn't help the chances of a downpour, but Manley's going to keep it out for one more. I don't think it's going to matter here, Sean, because here comes Mullins. He's going to do it officially.
What a race, man. I'll tell you what, Vavrovsky starting to find his legs again. He's working on Mullis. Here comes the number 10 machine. Looking strong again. Mullis, man, he's been good the whole race, though. I got to tell you, he's going to be tough to get around. But watch out. Vavrovsky is coming, baby. He's got a lot of cars here in front of him to use as a pick. We'll see how they get through this traffic.
That's Brad Walsh. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say that really allowed Vavrovsky to pick up a lot of ground on Mullis.
That's Brad Walsh in the 88 machine out there. Still able to hold that position. Mullis hasn't been able to do it yet. Vavrovsky now right behind him. Going to try to duck to the inside here. Look at the run. He gets out of 2. He dives to the inside and gets it done. Vavrovsky back up. Well, my timing and scoring says first place now. Did something happen to our leader?
Yeah, no, he came in. Yeah, he finally had to get into the pit.
No.
Okay, that's right. And you know what? Manley was in that group, and they passed him. Now Manley was hanging on to the lead lap, so Vavrovsky and Mullis, when they cycled out of the pits, they were chasing that lap.
No, guys, I'm looking for James Mullins right now. I don't see him on my timing and scoring.
Yeah, Mullins has slipped back to 12th place after that stop. Mullins must have gotten loose or something slowed him down, but he has fallen way off the pace. But the battle up front is real for Vavrovsky. Now taking it away, and poor Jimmy Mullins that was having a really strong run, and he's just falling off pace now.
Yeah, that's what
Vavrovsky is hard on it.
Help me out here because I'm old and I get confused. Was not James Mullins our leader for most of the race, correct? Okay. But he fell back quite a few laps. Okay. I was so caught up watching the 5th place battle there.
Yeah, something happened, Bill. Got him off pace. I wonder if maybe he had a little trouble getting in or off the pit road. Let's see if I can go back and try and find that real quick here.
I thought he came off of the pits. I thought he came out of the pits in first place. While Sean's looking at that, we do know what's going on right now as we have 7 laps to go. We have Trevor Borowski in first, being chased by Jimmy Mullis. Okay, now we're getting news that Mullins got a speeding penalty. There we go. Tragedy for Mullis. He had a speeding penalty, and that's what moved him down. So Borowski is our leader as Mullis, again, pit road playing a major factor as we look at this battle for 6th position between Henderson and DeCuna. DeCuna doing a great job keeping that beat-up nose car still in there as he's going to get a run here on Henderson. DeCuna trying to make it work on the inside. DeCuna still very high in the points. Was running third. Yeah, was running third in the points. He couldn't quite get that thing done.
Dude, DeCuna having trouble with the transition back onto the track. Car got a little bit loose, almost lost. He did a good job of hanging on. He's sticking it down there on the inside of Travis Henderson, though.
Pass for the lead. Let's look at this. I think we have momentum here. I got a hunch it's coming. Here comes... Oh, I'm sorry, that's a lapped car. That's Brad Walsh going to the inside.
Yeah, and, Brad's fighting for quite a bit there. I mean, he's sitting there in 9th place. Would certainly like to try and finish this race on the lead lap if he can. But, he's out there fighting for a position. He's trying to stay in the top 10, and you can't blame him for still battling hard.
Now, once Borowski got around Jimmy Mullis, he said, see you later. Somebody needs to check Borowski's luggage for towels because he has checked out. He is now 2.5 seconds ahead of the second-place driver, Jimmy Mullis.
Yeah, and Cordell Colon trying to take away that position from Mullis right now. Colon all over the bumper of Mullis down to the inside. As they head off of 2, Colon powers down to the inside. Nice run up the straight. Got to pick up a little draft help for the number 3 right in front of him. Boy, he just broke away from Mullis, left him in the dust.
With 2 laps to go, Cordell Colon has now moved into second. Mullis dropping back to third. Looks like he's going to be pretty safe in third because it's a long way back till we get to Joshua Wolf, who's finally picked up into 4th place as our leader. Trevor Borowski has taken the white flag as he goes down the backstretch. 2 corners to go. And we have our third race. We have, looks like, our third different winner in the We Stand United Cup. Trevor Borowski, your winner of the Cobalt 150. Mullis gets second place. No, that's incorrect. Colon gets second. Mullis gets third. Joshua Wolf crossing the finish line right now. Going to finish in 4th. Tate Lytle behind him in 5th. Here comes the start-finish line. Crossing is Phineas DeCuna. 6th position. Got ahead of Travis Henderson in 7th. Rounding out the cars on the lead lap, Brad Walsh in 8th. Alex Skinner in 9th. And those are all the cars in your lead lap finisher. There you have it. We're going to take a short break. Come back in just a few minutes. We'll run down the entire field, not just the lead lap cars. Driver interviews and closing credits. Back in just a few. Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing Channel's post-race coverage of the We Stand United Cup. Race number 3, the Cobalt Tools 150 from Las Vegas. We're going to run down the standings now. Your winner today, Trevor Bobrovsky, had a nice ran up front most of the race and was able to get it done. Cordell Colon going to finish in second position. Jimmy Mullis rounds out the shortest podium spot. Joshua Wolf and Tate Lytle, 4th and 5th respectively. Finian Dacuna, in 6th. Behind him, Travis Henderson. 8th and 9th position go to Brad Walsh and Alex Skinner. And then the first car one lap down, Ryan Irby. Sean?
Yes, sir. And then we'll move on to 11th place. Take a look at that here. In 11th tonight, that's going to be James Mullins. Suffered that speeding penalty, and that Ford's going to have to settle for 11th. Mike Manley, he'll come home 12th. Nick Parrott, a little bit of trouble for him. Lots of pit time in the pit, but hey, Nick Parrott gets a 13th place finish. 14th, Zach Gaudette. Dawson Brock, 15th. David Nananen, 16th. Matthew Cisna, 17th. Blake Heather, 18th. Brandon Creighton, tough night for Brandon, man. It never really got started. 19th. And in 20th place, Tad Granger.
Look at those names that we just called off back there. Heather, Cretion, Granger. Heather's a winner from race 2. Granger, the winner, I think, in Daytona. Cretion was almost the winner at Atlanta before the penalty. A lot of big names down there at the bottom. Hitting blackjack, Ricky Howell. Derek Prater in 21st position, 85 laps down. Robert Cartwright, 99 laps down. Chase Sutton, 24th, well back. Nolan Sutton, the Chase and Nolan, the Sutton brothers, both 99 laps down. Probably twins, and they're both on the same lap. Colton Davis, 100 laps in 26th position. And there you have the 26 drivers that took the grid. Okay, we're going to do interviews right now. Sean, have you ran down anybody down there in pit road?
Man, we got everybody down here. Let's see here. Who are we going to bring in? Let's see. Okay, let's...
Oh.
Yeah, we had Mullis, and I think we lost to Bill.
Let's see who else
But
I can
that's
see.
all right.
Wait, I got our winner. I think I got Trevor Bobrovsky here. Mr. Bobrovsky, do you have a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, congratulations on that one. Great race. You ran up front for most of the race, and then the guy that was really the class of the field picked up a speeding penalty in the pits, and then you brought it home.
Yeah, it was really tight. It was very close all race, running up there with James and Jimmy and my teammate Cordell, and got kind of lucky there with the pit stops. The race fell to me, had to run Jimmy down, but was able to do it and pull off the W.
One of the things we noticed, I was looking at it, is the inside lane worked somewhere, but boy, it seemed like the outside lane was really working outside of 2. Where was your preferred place to make the pass?
Well, that was the really great thing about the car going through the race today, is I could really put it just about anywhere. I know James is definitely favoring the high side, and I was in practice. I was running a lot of the middle and the bottom, but I found that I could go just about anywhere and still be competitive. So it was really nice to see that.
Okay, tell the viewers a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? Are you married or single, or what's your life like?
As I am 19, I'm not quite hooked up at the moment. No, I live out here, Portland, Oregon, out in the Northwest. Yeah, going to school, having some fun running iRacing. This is my 5th year now with WSU, so hoping for some big things this year.
Portland is the Rose City, I think, right? Am I right on that?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Well, here's the question that we're asking now. So far, Queen Elsa and Princess Anna are split half and half because Granger couldn't make up his mind. Your favorite Disney princess, what's it going to be? We're going to track this all season.
Oh, geez.
Come on, you got Cinderella, you got Snow White, you got the classics, then you got...
I'm gonna actually go with kind of an oddball one. I'll go with the Little Mermaid. So what was it?
Ariel.
Yes.
All right, there you go. Little
There we
Mermaid.
go.
So Ariel moves into the lead in our Disney Princess Challenge. Okay, congratulations, Trevor. Before I let you go, let's more serious question. Anybody you'd like to thank?
Oh yeah, definitely. I gotta thank everybody out at Front Row Motorsports. My teammate Cordell finishing second, bringing home the 1-2. Was really good. Josh, Tad, Brad, everybody that was helping out with the setup, and got on the car today. I got Mars Solutions helped me out. Sim Race guys out here in Portland and helped me out and get my rig set up. So big shout out to those guys, and yeah, just WSU putting on the race, having a blast.
Okay, congratulations, and your season is looking good so far. Let's keep it going, and we look forward to seeing you next time. I would imagine we're probably going to go to Phoenix next, so good luck there.
Yep, thank you.
All right, your race winner, Trevor Borowski. Sean, who do we got?
Man, we got Cordell Cologne. We're going to bring him down, talk to Cordell real quick. Cordell, great win, great team effort tonight for Front Row Motorsports. Tell us all about it, sir.
Oh, it was a great race. I mean, I was pushing the car as hard as I possibly could on that last run. I couldn't have got any more out of that race car. The team did a wonderful job setting up the car this week. It was a really good team effort from everybody. It was just a really good race. The car had so much grip, you could drive the thing wherever you wanted to. It was so fun.
Yeah, I heard you guys talking about that in practice, about the grip that you had tonight, and certainly a 76-degree track is going to help that and take away the marbles. Nice, clean track to work with. Were you a little worried about that they had washed everything off and gone just zero track state to start?
I will say, just before the practice, when they called out that we were doing 0% track, I was thinking that we were probably going to be pretty screwed for the setup for our team. But we got out there in practice and we just weren't hitting on anything. And then like 5 minutes left in practice, we finally hit something, and that track just came to life for us. So I know it definitely made it pretty hard for some of the guys in the back, it seemed. There was quite a lot of early wrecks there, but that's to be expected when there's no grip on the track. So.
Were tires ever a factor at any point this evening?
Towards the end of that race, I was starting to push really bad. Earlier in the race, I was keeping a pretty good handle on them, but that last run, I didn't let up at all. I was 100% the entire run.
Yeah, and it was a really good run, and I got to tell you, Mullis, that his setup just seemed to kind of fall off on him. You were able to power around and take that second place away from him, and you put yourself here at second place, and good points night for the whole team and for yourself. But I got to ask you, it's been bugging me since we started. What's the inspiration for the paint job, man? I dig it.
Oh, it's all I drink. These things are amazing. Arnold Palmer, half and half white. These things are amazing, man. If I could get a sponsorship from the company itself, I would be right on it. But I decided to paint her up, just have fun. It's what I drink all the time, so.
Yeah, well, I happen to know a young man, my son, who is a big fan as well, and certainly has invested well in that company. So, yeah. So, a great evening for you. What are we looking forward to heading to Phoenix?
Well, with the new build coming out this week, we're just gonna go out there and see how the new setup works out, or the setup works out on the new build and all that kind of stuff, just to see how it handles and if anything's changed and so forth. If it's the same, we should be okay in Phoenix. It's always been a really good track for me, but it's a real smooth track. That's where I come to life, because we get the aero package down pretty well.
Well, we'll certainly look forward to maybe talking with you again. Great effort again tonight. Congratulations, and rest on this one for just a few days, and then you'll have to worry about tackling that new build. So thanks again for coming in, Cordell.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, Bill. That was Cordell Cologne, driver to number 50.
I'm going to bring in two drivers now. I have Blake Heather, and I'll see if I can bring in Dawson Bruck. Blake and Dawson, do we have copies here for both you guys?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Blake, I hope you're there. You were doing great. I brought you in for lap 43. You had the victory last week at Atlanta. Then on lap 43, you got a little bit loose right in front of Dawson. Let's hear your vision of it, Blake.
Well, it was a little on the opposite. The whole setup this weekend, I just couldn't get a grip on it, and then having that cold weather didn't help me at all. I was hoping for a hot track. I got tight and rolled out of the throttle. I just tried to tear down that outside wall, and then I tried to keep it up in there. And then all of a sudden, here comes freaking Dawson. I try to get out of his way. And he just kind of bumped me in the back, and I got sitting inside. And there goes the race. I was hoping for a little bit better, but I mean, yeah, it just wasn't my night.
Dawson really nowhere for you to go. He kind of ended up in front of you, didn't he?
Yeah, it was the same thing he said. I mean, it was an unfortunate situation, but yeah, like he was saying, the colder track that didn't really help us. Same with our setup that we were running with Jimmy, and yeah, I was kind of going. I saw him up in the wall, went to low, all of a sudden big 7 car right in my face, which and I was kind of worried here when you brought us in. I was like, oh, we're gonna just put both of us in the ring. But I mean, at the moment, I'm thinking, but nah, I've had time to cool off about it, and yeah, it's just a racing, unfortunate.
I've done a lot of incident review work, and that's going to happen in racing. As if wasn't that's got to be easier to swallow than getting punted. If misery loves company, guys, everybody, there were a lot. You weren't alone in the garage with a lot of wrecked up cars, weren't you?
Oh yeah, we had my 2 teammates, Derek and David. They got into each other. Whether it was like, I don't really understand what happened in that situation, but apparently Derek was running it pretty hard. But another unfortunate situation. We just had me, Derek, David, a bunch of cars just got wrecked out tonight. So not a good night for us.
Blake, 3 different races, 3 different winners. You think you can double up, come back, get one at Phoenix?
That's a tall order. I don't know. I'm gonna have to see if I can. I heard something about a new build coming out, and I don't know how I'm gonna fare. I really haven't ran Phoenix too much in the A car, and I'm hoping to get as much seat time this week, I should say, and hopefully be strong and have a better comeback than what I did here tonight at Las Vegas.
Okay, boys. Well, I'm glad you can have a virtual handshake over it there, and no hard feelings. Dawson, Brock, a 15th position for you here, and let's see, where did try to find where Heath?
I was like 18th.
Yeah, Blake, 18th. So well back for you guys. All right, better luck next time for both you rascals. Okay?
Yep, good broadcast. I love watching it while I'm racing.
Okay, watching it while you're racing. Okay,
that's why you plowed into me, huh?
Yeah.
Sorry, if I knew you were watching, Dawson, I would have said, "Hey, watch out!" So I could have spotted for you.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Better luck next time.
Yeah. See you later.
Take it easy.
Dawson Block. Let's get that right.
Dawson
Who do we
Brock.
have there? There you go.
And
We'll wrap it up for us, Sean. While I look for my final plugs, any final thoughts?
Man, I thought we saw a really great race tonight. I mean, man, this is a wicked fast track. I mean, they churn a lot of horsepower out here, and with the weather we had tonight, honestly, it could have been a caution every 3 laps. It wasn't. There was a lot of attrition, but in the end, we got some pretty good racing. We got a great finish. Pavrovsky, Cologne, Mullis, those 3. We really were kind of the class of the field tonight. They spent most of their time up front, and can't forget about old Howlin' Wolf back there. He finishes back in 4th, and but he was a guy to watch all night. And Tate Lytle, your buddy, Tate was in this thing too for quite a while. So, a good race for a lot of guys tonight. They're going to be happy with those points and look forward to getting Phoenix now. That's a different beast altogether when we get there, and that dog leg and just the way that track is laid out, it's going to be we see the side-by-side condition and maybe even 3 wide coming down through that dog leg. Man, anything can happen. It probably will. So I look forward to getting there and look forward to being back with you next Sunday night there, Bill.
And we look forward to having all the fans come back and watch again as we have our next broadcast from Phoenix. And, as Sean and I both get to learn these drivers a little bit more and get more familiar with the series, the race, the tracks, the broadcasts are only going to get better. And the interviews will be more informative. And I will make sure not to give away any wives and girlfriend type secrets that might be going on. So I apologize to any marital statuses I may have put in jeopardy last week. Let's go to our thanks right now before I jeopardize any more relationships. We'd like to thank the We Stand United Motorsports for organizing the series and contracting with GSRC to broadcast it. Thanks to the companies, equipment, and software that you see on the screen right now that make our broadcast so effective. The original music that you heard on today's broadcast is thanks to these two guys, Eric Eckholm and Casey Lalonde, and you can actually get their music digitally if you go to the places that are on the screen. They don't have it in 8-track version, though, which makes me very sad. Thanks to my mic mate, Joe Peak, our director, Amjad Yaman. That's incorrect. Thanks to... clearly from the wrong race. Thanks to my mic mate, Sean Ambrose, and our director, Joe Peak, and everybody else that made this happen, like the cameras provided by Dougie Beard. The WSU Cup returns. I think it's going to be in next week. I didn't write this down, but I think Sean and I are going to be back for Phoenix. It is next week. I'm getting the confirmation on that. So make sure you come back, same bat channel, same bat station. And now that all the housekeeping is out of the way, it's time for us to go have fun storming the castle. So until next time, race hard, race clean, and we'll see you on the track.